We also raffle prizes.
Oh, yeah.
So my name is Samantha Gill, and I'm the Public Services Manager here at the Hayes Public Library. Tonight we are hosting the Executive Director of the CVB, Melissa Dixon, and she's going to tell you all about Hayes and what we have going on this summer, which I'm sure you can guess is a lot. So take it away, Melissa.
Thank you so much. Again, my name is Melissa Dixon, and I'm the Director at the Convention and Visitors Bureau. What is that? Well, I always start with, we're not the Chamber of Commerce. A lot of people have heard of the Chamber before they've heard of the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Well, the difference is the Chamber of Commerce is all about the businesses. They're all about networking, helping those businesses succeed, and we are all about the visitor. So our office is 100% funded by hotel tax. So we have a very special relationship with our hotels in town, and we're using that visitor money to market right back to the visitors. That's our mission right there. Market Hayes to potential visitors, and then support the attractions and the special events that bring them here, and then service those visitors. So I do want to start out with just a little intro of what we do, just so you know that I'm qualified to tell you about things that are to do in Hayes and around our region. This is the Hayes Welcome Center. It's modeled after the Hayes Train Depot. We're at 2700 Vine Street, so right across from Walgreens. And we share our building with the Chamber of Commerce, so that's confusing. But they're a great partner, and we work on a lot of things together. But we are also a travel information center. This building was built in 2012, I want to say, with $700,000 of KDOT money to help people get around the state, help them find their way around. So for that reason, we must have information for the whole state. So if you come in, all of our stuff is free. We have maps, we have beautiful travel guides like this, we have state park guides, hotel coupons, all kinds of things for travelers, and it's all free. Now, why are we concerned with visitors? Well, if you look at a rough estimate of what an overnight guest spends, they spend about 40% on their hotel and about 60% on everything else. Their fuel, their trip to Walmart, stuff they forgot, their food and drink while they're here. And we know what the hotels are taking in because the city gets those receipts, sales tax receipts. Well, Hayes hotel revenue in 2023 was over $23 million. And if we know they spend that on their hotel, then we can extrapolate their total spend. So their economic impact, what they put into our community, was over $58 million last year. And so we are so grateful for I-70 that funnels those travelers through here. And that's why we have a full-time staff dedicated to making sure we're taking care of those visitors. This is the lovely ladies of the CVB, Annette, Abby, Brittany, and Janet. Oh, don't tell Abby, she just got married and I didn't get her new name in here. She is Abby Romey now. Annette is a retired school teacher. Abby is a previous library employee, so she can deal with anyone. She's so helpful. Brittany Squire previously worked for the Forsyth Library. She's our marketing manager, and Janet Kuhn has been with us 20 years. She takes special care of groups when they need things. And what kind of stuff do we do? Take care of conventions and groups. If they have a meeting, a family reunion, they need name tags, they need welcome packets, we do that for free because we want their group to have a great time in Hayes and bring their group back again. We do hospitality suites for coaches at sports tournaments because you better believe that brings people to town to stay in our hotels. We do city tours if anybody asks. It could be a big group or it could be one job candidate. Doesn't matter. We'll take that hour and take them around town. We also represent Hayes and Kansas at trade shows for travel writers and hunting and fishing expos, all kinds of things like that. And we support events all kinds of different ways. We may show up and help you with registration. We may write a check for a sponsorship, or we may just show up and make sure some things are going smoothly where you need some help. One of the first things I want to tell you about that's going on in your neighborhood, yes, we're going to talk about Hays, but we're also going to talk about some things that include Hays in the region. This is a collaborative effort among 4 cities, Wichita, Abilene, Hays, and Dodge City, called the Gunsmoke Trail. So the director of the Abilene CVB, her name is Julie Roller Weeks, and you may know them from all their marketing they do for the Eisenhower Presidential Library. They recently unveiled their world's largest bell buckle. She has great ideas. Well, she noticed her parents were watching Gunsmoke every afternoon, and she stumbled upon this Facebook fan group for Gunsmoke that had hundreds of thousands of members in it. And somebody in that group said, I sure wish I could go to Kansas and see some of these places that I hear about in Gunsmoke. And so she's like, let's roll out the red carpet for anybody that wants to do that and get them here. So what we did was we just picked out the Old West theme attractions that we already have and wrapped it in this Gunsmoke package and put it out there. So nobody had to build any new museum or attraction. It was things we already have. So in Hays, the things we're directing people to are things like Boot Hill, which was recently on Jeopardy, confirmed that it was the first Boot Hill, not Dodge City's. Ours came first. Our Boot Hill, our historic walking tour, our historic fort with all of its history, and then, very tricky, I also directed people to a couple private businesses that I thought fit the theme. I feel like Paisley Pear with its whiskey flight is kind of like the closest to our local saloon. And Sunflowers and Silos down on 8th Street is a boutique with a hat bar. You can make your own cowboy, cowgirl hat with your own feather and your own beads and brand. So there are a few things that are privately owned businesses, but they're willing to be a partner. Hopefully we'll drive some traffic there. So how do you do this Gunsmoke Trail? We have a printout in our office that you can get, and you can do it at your own pace, or you can use a mobile passport program. It works like an app, but you don't have to download an app. You do not have to go to the App Store. You just go to kansasgunsmoketrail.com, put in your name and your phone number, and magically it pops up on your home screen. And if you're using that mobile app, you can check in when you get to Boot Hill Cemetery, and then you get some points, and then you can earn some prizes. So we have some Gunsmoke stickers, koozies, and then if you get to a certain level of points, a very nice commemorative coin that says, I rode the Gunsmoke Trail. But again, these are cities that normally we're kind of competing with each other. And this is a pretty exciting collaboration that became very affordable because we're splitting it 4 ways. So you'll see a billboard for the Gunsmoke Trail just east of Abilene. And already our travel writers are doing it so they can write about it. Already our bus tour planners have said, oh, I need the information because people are going to love this. And motorcycle rider road trips have asked about it. So we're excited to see where it goes. It's very new. If you try it and you see anything weird, please let me know. I feel like it's very early. But we have checked in a few times, and it seems to be working well. You can filter it by your location to see what's close to me, and then go visit those things. So if you go to kansasgunsmoketrail.com, you'll see the map, who all's participating, and learn how to do that. But again, if you don't want to do digital, come to the Welcome Center, and we have a printout we'll give you, and you can do it at your own pace. Another thing that is regional that I want to let you know about is Sunflower Summer Program. This program gets Kansas people into Kansas attractions for free. It started with Kansas Department of Education, and it was very successful, and they handed it off to Kansas Tourism. They said, we think this fits into your wheelhouse, we're gonna let you do it. Here's some funding. So the gist is, you download their app and you show it when you get to this attraction, museum, fort, and you get in for free. And we're not taking any revenue away from those attractions because the state is reimbursing them. So everybody wins. And the 3 attractions that are included in Hays are the Sternberg Museum, our fort, and the Ellis County Historical Society Museum. But if you want to venture out around to the rest of the state, these are over 200 spots that you can get into free by just showing them the Sunflower Summer app. If you just Google Sunflower Summer, all this information will come up. But very exciting that families can use this to get in with a couple kids, get in free to that museum that you've been wanting to see. And the goal was education, and so that's what we're trying to do. So Sternberg Museum, this is one of our attractions that's covered under Sunflower Summer, and that will get you in one time this summer. The program started late May, and I believe it runs through early August. I'll have to check. The Sternberg Museum has a fantastic new exhibit this summer. It's one of the biggest they've ever had. They're very interactive and hands-on, including a place where you can color your own dinosaur, put it into a machine, and your dinosaur that you colored, how you wanted it to be, shows up on a screen and starts walking around. He comes to life. He hatches out of an egg and comes to life. I don't want to spoil it, but I want you to see it. I want you to look for that when you get there. But it's a very fun, interactive exhibit. My son is 13. We went Memorial Day weekend, and he asked to go back the very next day so he could do it all again. So very fun. And this museum has a great collection, not just for research, but also little live animals and critters. This is just good for all ages. And don't forget, they have spaces you can rent. People are always calling our office to ask where they can have a meeting or a party. They have classroom spaces, and they also have a party room. So don't forget about them. Historic Fort Hays site is another one that's covered under Sunflower Summer. Sometimes they will have special events during the summer, like an old school baseball game played with 1860s rules, no helmets, no gloves, you just played off the tree, whatever. And they'll have free popcorn, so watch our calendar. We have a great community events calendar at visithays.com. Watch our calendar if they have any special events. Last year, I think they had Fort Hays Days, but I haven't heard lately what they're doing. I know they have a new director, Adam Conkey, and I'm sure he's going to have some fun stuff planned for this summer. Again, this site is free all the time, all year round, and the grounds are always open if you want to go walk out there. And I think it gets my vote for the best place in Hays to see a sunset if you want to take a little picnic up there. Ellis County Historical Society has had some recent renovations. It's looking beautiful on the inside. I saw them wheeling some huge models of old churches in there the other day, so I'm excited to see what's going on with them. You can always schedule a tour of the German house or the younger harness shop that was relocated from Main Street. But they have a new director, Amanda Rupp, and I'm fired up about all the stuff she's doing there. It makes me so happy every time I'm in a meeting with her because they're doing great things. Our gorgeous Hays Aquatic Park, where if you get a season pass, you can go every day this summer for $45, depends on if you got the early bird price. Lazy River, newly refinished slides, concession stand, and if you didn't know, you can rent out this whole complex. I've seen Girl Scout troops get together and rent the whole place after hours. You can even rent the little not a boardwalk, upper deck.
That's where we're going to have our ending summer party, and it's open for everyone. Even if you didn't participate in summer reading, it will be totally open to everyone on August 7th.
Very fun. Great place. Great place for all ages this summer. And a place I'm really proud of, the Ark Park and Splash Pad. If you're not familiar with this park, our community raised over $1 million to create an all-accessible park. The park is for all kids, but the equipment, there is some special equipment for kids with special needs. Maybe you can't swing by yourself. There's a swing where you can swing with somebody. Maybe you're in a wheelchair. You can wheel your wheelchair into the merry-go-round and go. This is a zip line where you can strap in and take a ride, and the floor is cushy to make it just easier for everybody. There's nothing like this in northwestern Kansas, and I'm so proud of it. And when I give tours to job candidates, I make sure to take them by this, which is on 33rd Street. And it's one of the places where a lot of times they'll go, wait, stop, let's get out. Or let me take a picture of this. Or they'll say, my brother has special needs. This is amazing. And then there's a splash pad that goes with it. And again, all free. Free, free, free. A little tip, if you ever go to the splash pad and the water turns off, there's a little pad where you put your hand to turn it back on. Don't think the city turned it off. It just takes a break and you have to say, yes, I'm here and I'm ready to play. Put your hand on the pad and you can keep playing. Hazelarks baseball has started up. I brought baseball schedules for your fridge if you need one. Hazelarks has been going on for over 77 years. Collegiate players from all over the country are hosted by local families. These games are free thanks to generous sponsors like the Convention and Visitor Bureau. We'll sponsor a game July 8th, and we'll be there with some giveaways like some Larks temporary tattoos, which I brought if you want one, or if you know some kids that would like them, take a handful, please. But a fantastic community event with cheap but delicious hot dogs and hamburgers. I'm always proud of our community when I go out to a Larks game and see everybody out there. Don't forget about Centennial Lanes. They have bowling leagues you can be a part of, and they do glow bowling, and I'm not sure if that's Friday or Saturday night or both, but if you give them a call, I know they would give you more details. Precision Valley out on 27th Street. Okay, we've had, I could go through each of these slides and say where we've had our birthday parties with my kids. We've had birthday parties at Centennial Lanes, and they have fantastic pizza. We've had a birthday party at Precision Valley Golf and Bike Center. Not only do they have mini golf outside, they have a driving range outside, and if it's hot like today, you can go in and play on their simulator. It's a true golf simulator, the same one that Tiger Woods has in his basement, so you know it's good. And for a birthday party, you can flip the simulator to soccer or baseball, and really do some other things with the kids. And they also do pizza on site if you need a snack. And my hot tip for Precision Valley is Wednesday nights, mini golf is only $5. Okay, next birthday party place, the Fort Tavern and Patio Bar. If you have not peeked in, this place is down on 7th Street, I believe. It's connected to Defiance, which is the former Gutch's. Defiance has fabulous pizza and crazy beers on tap from Defiance. They'll let you try their interesting things that they're trying out to see if they're going to can it. But next door, the Fort Tavern and Patio Bar. It is what we're looking at here on the left. That's mini bowling, so that's fun for all ages. And then on the right, virtual reality games. So you can put on this headset and you are safely strapped into what looks like a little treadmill, so you can run away from the zombies if you need to. And you can play with your friends inside differently themed games. This is actually my kid's birthday party, and one of the girls that worked there asked for permission. She said, "Can I go in and grab their leg while they're playing the zombie game?" And I was like, "Oh yes, do it." So that was fun for everybody. But again, this is fun for all ages. They have food and drink there, and they have a huge outdoor patio. I've seen class reunions here during Oktoberfest weekend. This would be a great party place to just hang out outside. They've got food and drink for you. They've got cornhole, and they even have, you can bring your own pickleball paddle. They have their own pickleball court here. Just don't hit it over the fence. And a beautiful double-decker patio for lovely days. Not today, but any other day. They have a great space. And then outside, they have some really fun, colorful murals that are just fun. And these are my kids, 16 and 13. Okay, things to do in town. I'm so excited that I can walk to a concert from my house. I'm just on 22nd Street. But the Fox Theater, with its new owners, Dustin and Laney Rhodes, have absolutely embraced what this building was meant to do. It has had live shows. The sound is great. It's a beautiful space, and they will even let you have meetings and events there. Upstairs, they have different levels with tables, and I've seen companies do training where they put stuff on the big screen and everybody's seated up top. It's a great space. They are having concerts almost every weekend right now. If you get on their e-newsletter list, they'll email you what's coming to town, and you'll be the first to know. I love it when I see they have a sold-out show at the Fox. Other fun concerts, the Wild West Festival is coming up for $30. If you buy your advance ticket, that gets you into 3 nights of concerts for $30. Nowhere can you get that but Hays, Kansas. Wild West Festival is always 4th of July weekend. If you Google Wild West Festival, you can get the schedule, who's playing, and then of course they will have the parade on Saturday morning, and then fireworks on the actual 4th at about 10 o'clock at night. And does anybody have a favorite place to watch the fireworks that you think is the best? I like to go down to 10th Street. But I've also been down to the walking trail behind Lark's Park, and that's pretty good too. Ellis County Fair is coming around this summer, and I have schedules, detailed schedules for those if you want to grab one before you leave today. Tons of activities for kids, competitions, photography, pickles, bread. I mean, if you think you're good at something, take it to the Ellis County Fair. You might get a blue ribbon. And oftentimes there's some monster trucks giving rides. And activities last the full week. RPM Speedway, they're having races. I know they just had a race Mother's Day weekend. Moms got in free. They just had first responders race. First responders got in free. You can look at their schedule online and on our calendar as well, but dirt track racing, that also brings people to town. So we sponsor their season as well. And then I put this up because the city is working with KDOT to do a couple more miles of paved trails that are going to connect the high school to Sternberg Museum and go around 41st Street. We're really excited about that, but don't forget that there's always a nice, smooth place to walk, run, walk the dog, ride your bike. This one is actually just south of Lark's Park, just south of campus. And while you're on that trail, you'll probably see people playing disc golf. Watch out for them and their flying discs. We have, I think coming up this year was the 40th of the Flying Bison Disc Golf Tournament. I didn't know what disc golf was till I moved to Hays 9 years ago, but it has quite a following, and these guys are happy to teach you. If you ever want to try, we have a set at the Welcome Center we would let you check out and just go throw it around. I've done that on a student tour before. I was like, get off the bus, we're just gonna throw some discs. It's a very nice course. Our Parks Department maintains it, and they're always making improvements to keep it nice. And it's the oldest course in Kansas that still has the original design from when it went in the 80s. Nature trails. This is the Dr. Howard Reynolds Nature Trails up at the Sternberg Museum. If you've never been on them, they are very well kept. You go to the opposite end of the parking lot from the museum and you'll see this sign and you just take off. There's a couple markers to send you on your way. You will see lots and lots of birds. If you have the little bird app that tells you what bird is this, I would take that out there. There's creeks down there. You'll see huge bullfrogs. Hopefully no snakes, but there are some fun things to explore out there, and I'm always impressed at how nice the trails are out there. And I've seen lots of people take their family pictures out there just because it's nice. Get immersed in nature. Fort Hays State University. They're a little quieter during the summer, but when people stop at the Welcome Center and say, where can I go walk? I usually send them to campus because it's so pretty. But the rest of the year, that's when your adventures are. That's when you've got all your collegiate sports and lots of activities going on that a lot of times are open to anybody. The Bricks in downtown Hays, I would say, is one of the top attractions because it's an entire district in Hays. It got named Most Beautiful Main Street in Kansas by MSN a few years ago, so we put that on a billboard real fast and let everybody know about it. The Downtown Hays Development Corporation has worked so hard with revitalization efforts the last 20 years. There's lots of great things going on, and there are not very many empty spots downtown right now. We have businesses call us and say, I want to move downtown, and we go, good luck. Keep your eyes open. Maybe something will change, but its occupancy rate is very high right now. One of my favorite things to do downtown is hit up the Downtown Hays Market on Saturday mornings, 7:30 to 11. It got named Best Market in Kansas by the Farmers Market Coalition last year. And yes, they have vegetables. They also have cinnamon rolls. They have handmade items. They have jewelry, soaps, all kinds of things that are handmade. But it's a great time to just hang out. There's free coffee, thanks to generous sponsors like the CVB. And it's just a great gathering place. If you're not familiar with the location, this is the Downtown Pavilion at 10th and Main, and it is classified as a City of Hays public park shelter house. You can reserve any shelter house for free online on the city's website, haysusa.com. Go to the Parks Department. This is included in that. You could rent this for free, not on Saturday mornings from May to October, but lots of other times. The Brews on the Bricks Festival this weekend, Craft Brew Festival, is actually going to be underneath there, which is going to save them money on tents. And this pavilion is always nice and cool. There's a lot of concrete. Now, the Downtown Hays Development Corporation tried to raise money on its own to build this because they wanted a gathering space downtown, and it was just out of their price range. But once they partnered with Fort Hays State Construction Science and NCK Tech electrical students, they kind of turned it into a class, and it went a little slower because they were only working on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but they brought the cost down to make it affordable, and then the Downtown Hays Development Corporation gifted it to the city, so now it is city shelter house. But fabulous thing to do on Saturday mornings if you are up and at 'em. Also down at the pavilion, you can find live music sometimes. There is a Summer of Love Grass concert series, which is a group that puts on a music festival out at Wilson Lake. They've been doing music all around town now. I'm not sure of the date of their June concert, but I have it on a flyer up here. But the CBB is actually sponsoring the July concert. And I believe the artist Front Porch is who played last year at Wilson Lake, and they're supposed to be fantastic. This is free. You just show up. You bring your chair, or you just sit on the wall. I think there's enough room for 100 people to sit if you sit on the wall and on the little columns. July 24th, they're gonna have food trucks. You can get a snack. Free concert. I have a picture of Paisley Pear because they regularly have free live music in their little up front corner. And then sometimes during the art walk, our Hayes Symphony will perform under the pavilion. If you Google Hayes Symphony, you can get their schedule. Their concerts are always free. Now usually they're performing on campus in the big, beautiful Beach Schmidt Performing Arts Center, which seats 1,100 people. But that's one of the things I love about our community. We have a symphony and it is free, thanks to generous sponsors like the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Hayes Public Library, I'm one of their biggest fans. I love the new remodel and I love all the little places there are to tuck in and study and work. But yeah, when I give candidate tours to people who are trying to consider, do I want to move to Hayes? We do not have time to get out very many places. We get out here. And we get out of the Sternberg. Because this is quality of life. This is lifelong learning, and I just love everything the library does. Do not miss the summer art walk. I say that and then I don't know the date. I need to grab it off of my sheet over there.
It's next Friday.
Thank you. Thank you. Hayes boasts that we have the oldest arts council in the state. And I guess Brenda Mayer hadn't been doing it the whole time, but she is a powerhouse. She's just my idol. She can do anything. They do so many programs throughout the year. If you've got kids that are looking to do art class, they have classes for kids in all ages. But quarterly, spring, summer, fall, and winter, they're going to have an art walk. Usually, the winter one is going to be on a Saturday, so you don't have to go out in the cold and the dark. You can go Christmas shopping all day on Saturday. Summer is probably going to be on a Friday night. But don't miss that. That is a great time. And again, free, free, free. Restaurants and businesses partner up with local artists to showcase whatever they have got that is new. They'll be open late, there's snacks, there's drinks, and everybody's invited. Doesn't matter how old you are, how much money you make, where you live, everybody's invited to Art Walk, all ages. And a lot of times CBB will have a little chalk art station, also for all ages, down by the pavilion. Oh my goodness, Sam, how am I doing?
You're great.
Okay. While we're talking about adventures, I'm going to tell you about a change at our regional airport. We are always in close communication with United Airlines, who contracts with SkyWest to fly the planes. And we finally got the schedule that we've been wanting, with a flight that is early enough to get you to Denver, to make your connections to go wherever else you're going. The airport just announced they had their second best month on record in May. And in the last 30 days, they've flown 1,700 passengers. And I'm gonna tell United, see, give us a good schedule and we'll fill the plane. Now, we were flying to Denver and Chicago, but that Chicago flight is gonna be phased out in June, and it'll be 2 opportunities to make your connections in Denver. And from Denver, you can connect to anywhere in the world. And then that last flight's gonna be coming in to Hayes pretty late, between 10:30 and 11. But you can't beat flying in and being home. I just flew last week to DC, and there was a guy on my plane from Liberal, and he said, he was on the phone telling somebody, he said, I was in the TSA security line for 1.5 minutes in Hayes. And then I was in Charlotte where they were under construction, and they routed like all 1,000 people who were flying out that morning into one security line, and they were barking and screaming, and it was not fun, and it made me miss Hayes Regional Airport. But these posters that you see around are a new advertising opportunity if you know of a business or a restaurant that wants to be featured out there. Call me, call the airport. We'll get you out there. But very exciting that schedule is working for our passengers. And while you're traveling, the Turnpike is about to go cashless. If you've never purchased a K-tag, which is the little sticker that goes on your window and lets you drive straight through, those are great. They automatically bill your credit card. But that's fixing to be the only way to do it. I don't know what they're going to do for people who haven't gotten the memo and just drive up. But yeah, July 1, the Turnpike is going to cashless system. And your K-tag will work for you. I believe it works in Oklahoma, Colorado's coming, Florida I think it works in. But they have a great website where you can learn more things about that. And with that, I am ready for any questions that you have. And I brought tons of free stuff. And I brought a little sheet of paper where if you would like to sign up for our e-newsletter where we tell you what's going on in Hayes, we'll send you the calendar every month that we put together of all the things that are going on. We keep a great community events calendar at visithayes.com. We try really hard to keep people informed, not just so they know what's going on, but so they can schedule their thing. You know, check our calendar before you schedule your thing. Yeah, we just want to be a resource to the community. When I first started this job, one of my supervisors said, "Aren't you supposed to market outside Hayes? Why do I hear so much inside Hayes?" I said, we are marketing out there too, but I believe there is a level of communication and education that needs to happen locally to sustain the great things that we have. If nobody knows we have a symphony and nobody goes, the symphony will be no more. If nobody goes to our farmers market, we won't have one for very long. If your friend comes to visit you from Nebraska and says, "What are we going to do this weekend?" and you go, "Well, there's nothing going on, so let's go to Denver." I want them to say, "There's so much going on in Hayes. Let me show you all the things there are to do." With that, any questions about Hayes or the CVB?
I have one question.
Yes.
That trail that's out by Sternberg, do you know like how many miles that is?
I think it's 2.2 if you were to walk the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been out there, but
I'd love to go see the frogs. Kids like to find frogs.
This is good.
very good, very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you for your attention. And again, I brought so many things. I brought free stickers. I brought Kansas byways guides. Did you know Kansas has scenic byways? Hayes is not on one, but that's in the neighborhood. These are free. This is the Ellis County Fair schedule. I have free Hayes stickers with little white bison on them. And if you want to grab something on Sunflower Summer, I brought copies of that. And the Lark schedule, copies of that too. And the big thing we do in our office, we do the big city-county map, the big fold-out map. My boss says, "Who uses maps?" People that walk into our place and ask for them. And then we do the Hayes Visitor's Guide, which goes up and down. We paid 3 different companies to distribute this up and down I-70 and in different levels of attractions. But it's everything you want to know about Hayes with a little fold-out map in the back. Yeah.
What are your guys' hours there at the center?
A few years ago, we're a City of Hayes department, so we follow the other offices. So we're in the same boat as police, fire, water, even though we are nothing like any of those departments. A couple years ago, they went to 7:30 to 5:30, Monday through Thursday, and then 7:30 to 11:30 on Fridays, which is fun. But in the summer, we don't want to close early. And we want to help our visitors that are coming through on Saturdays. So we have some fantastic part-time employees that keep the Welcome Center open between graduation weekend and I think a Labor Day weekend. So we will be open Fridays till 5:30 and Saturdays 10 to 5. But come see us, come poke around. We have Hayes t-shirts, we have a little gift shop with Hayes tumblers. We have Hayes Opoly, which I brought. It's one of our prizes we're going to give away.